Hey, it's your girl Venus Jasmine. So, I wanted to talk about today another unpopular opinion: parenting. Um, our new generation. The kids that are gonna be taking over the world. The ones that are still coming in. Um, well, this is touchy and a subject I like to talk about because a lot of people don't. Well, no, I'm not. A lot of people do know. Anybody that's close to me knows, like, even when I was being a little heathen, when I was young, playing house and shit, like, I always had to be the mommy. So, telling the kids what to do or whatever. Um, so, yeah, from a kid, I was watching Paris Milan, right? And this is why I say that we learn something every freaking day, and the way our mind operates is, and how different we are. Like, I literally did think that the majority of women are the same, but they aren't. I mean, there's women that would probably think I was a freaking scarlet freaking witch, from the way I used to party and the way I used to behave. There's some women that always knew, like, I didn't always value myself, but there's some women from when they're young, they're not, well, I don't know. For me, I don't know. I don't really want to get too much into that, but like I told you before, like, I've always been, my mind was in the wrong place. But yeah, Milan, in this video, she was saying this girl from 10 years old or 9 years old always knew she had to be wanted to be a mother and be a wife. And I'm like, that's not what all women be thinking about. I did not know that. And then now, even looking at my daughter, she's talking about she might adopt. She's not trying to have children. Like, whoa, you know. I had a whole situation with one of my aunts because I wanted to be her son, my cousin's godmom. Like, I was so upset, and I was like 17 years old. I was really young, but yeah, I've always. I mean, it's just common sense, right? What are we gonna leave for the next generation coming in? Because even me as a mother, I'm learning every day. You know what I mean? I am not, I am so, so far from the perfect mom. But being a parent is not a game. You know what I mean? It's not a joke. And I think my kids are not perfect, but they're pretty decent. Compared to me, it's like, with what I put my mom through. But yeah, but I really think about these things because, like I said in my other videos, I think the things that we put out and the type of energy we put out, it can be dangerous. Like, we have freedom of speech. Let's value that. Let's not abuse that. You know what I mean? Because when you're in a platform where you can say your opinion and you have a younger generation watching you, because you literally don't stop growing. And like I said in my other video, a lot of kids, they grow up, it's not only that they look up to adults, but they don't have no choice. They cannot take care of themselves. There's no boss babies around here. You feel me? You know, there is, scientific proof that a child needs attention, they need stableness. I feel like my daughter, well, everybody kind of goes to depression, but, I've been a single mom, and I've had lots of help throughout my time, but a lot of prayer. But I've struggled, a lot. And I'm not saying that because you have people that are rich. That's why I say, everything shouldn't always be taken like so literally, but because they're opinions. But you know, you're never gonna raise like a perfect child. But I've been thinking about like, you know, okay, so let's say for example, and this is just thoughts. This is just a thought of mine. So you have, the Egyptians and the pharaohs and all of this stuff, like, well, I don't know how to say it without sounding okay. So if a child literally, like, I just hope that we can figure out, like, okay, this is a great example. This is a great example. If you were born in 1970, 1960 versus being born now, this world that we live in now seems more privileged, right? There was actually a time when when we didn't have all of the luxuries that we have. And it's just, like, I think it's very, very important to really try to instill, like, I don't know how to say it. I want to watch my words because this is just from experiences, okay, from what I've seen. Someone that has struggled, really struggled, and someone who's always had a parent or somewhere to go or was never abandoned, they end up kind of being different. And it doesn't always mean that they're a bad person, but you notice that their temper is much shorter. They can't really, they don't really have regard or respect for other people's feelings too much. They're more easily to, more than likely, like, look down on people. I don't know if that makes sense. And I mean, I guess it won't be that bad as long as you're not hurting anybody. But I think it's very important for people to understand that it's like, you don't want, like, okay, this is basically what I'm saying. I don't want my daughter to freaking have to go through what I went through for her to be a humble girl. I don't want my son to have to go through what I went through. I don't want my youngest son to have to go through what I went through. It's like, how, that's why I said we're a learning generation. How do we raise our kids to be privileged and give them everything and not have them be like cold? You know what I mean? Like, how do they still, how do you give them everything and still keep them humbled? Because I feel like my kids are a little bit humbled because, we've been through shit. You know what I mean? But if I had everything, even with me, sometimes I'm like, damn, man, like, because I told you, like, I really like nice things. I love, I love that life. You know what I mean? But I've been humbled, so people will never really know that about me. But I'm like, ugh, man, If I could be in diamond dresses and freaking bling bling every single day, I would be busting out like Ayana Chanel every fucking day, going to the grocery store, like I swear. But you know what I mean? Like I was kind of like humbled, like, so I just, it's material things. At the end of the day, you realize like materialistic things is not the purpose of life. It's just something nice to have. You know what I mean? But yeah, like, because it's like, how can we continue to spoil the generations and still make sure, you know what I mean? Because really in life, it's like, I saw this video. It was on a motivational channel, and it said that we by nature are, it's in our nature to help one another, to that wasn't the exact word. It wasn't the exact wording, but the whole point of the video, they said the sun doesn't shine to just shine on itself. And really, truly, when the sun shines, our crops grow. The river doesn't flow. Water doesn't flow to quench its own thirst. No, the water freaking, we drink water. We drink the water. We bathe in the water. It's almost like the earth is giving. It isn't, the earth isn't like, the earth isn't like, well, I do all this shit, so, you know, it just doesn't work like that. The sun isn't like, well, I give you crops, so, you know what I mean? But, that would just be a great thing. And like I said, I don't know everything. That's how come I said, I think that, learning to be grateful and having gratitude is important. And trust me, a lot of people have it. But sometimes it's like, when I really look at everything going on, like, we are so spoiled. We are so spoiled. It's like I was saying in the other video, you don't even have to go grocery shopping anymore. You don't even have to go to get something to eat at McDonald's anymore. It's just, you press a button and it comes to you. You don't even have to. Why? Because really, when you get off from work, you don't really feel like packing your car, going to the grocery store. You don't feel like going and staying in the pizza restaurant to get dinner for the night. You know what I mean? And, you have Roku smart TVs, you're feeling down, you're feeling out. You have a television to look at. You have a television to make you laugh, to give you happiness, to give you joy, I'm not saying that, those aren't the only things that can make you happy, but you know what I mean? It helps, so I don't know. And there was this other guy, gosh, I forgot what he said. And he literally said this. He, not in these exact words, gosh, like, I have it in my head, but I'm very bad at the giving it, like, saying it. Like, his father, walked miles to go to work, go do whatever. And that father gave the next father a better chance to, be a little bit higher. Then the next one went higher. And then to the point where by the next one, it's right back to walking and working hard. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. He didn't say it in those exact words, but It's like, really teaching your kids. Because I mean, I really literally have met people that, I mean, grew up with everything. You know what I mean? And they cold, man. They ice cold. I'm talking about their mama didn't get no other man, never had no man around them, completely devoted themselves to their children, and you know, or they did everything to for them, and mm, sometimes that you don't grow up to be so nice, which is so weird. You know, we don't want to have a generation where you gotta suffer to just be right. Like, damn. Because, like I said, like, I'm not saying in a negative way. Like, sometimes I think, like, that God put me on this path because I would have been like, bring me my grapes or bring me my wine. Oh, put on my crown and shit. Like, would I have been like that? I don't know. I don't know. Because, like, deep down, like, I'm telling you, man, like, ooh, I'm spoiled. You know what I mean? I didn't realize that people daydream about having nice things, Mm, but at some point, how can we figure that out? You know? That's why I say I think everybody has a purpose, everybody has a reason. Some people are meant to be doctors, psychiatrists, therapists, scientists, environmentalists. Like everybody, judges, police officers. Everyone has their role, and you just gotta like find yours. Like I know I want to rap and um, and model and everything, but that's not a long term goal. I feel like children really actually matter. And I would like to be part of that movement on figuring out, because like I said, I don't have all the right answers. Like I get so much compliments about my motherhood, and it's crazy because I beat myself up so much, because I feel like I could be a better mom, but hey, you going to work, you doing what you gotta do, you know, you're doing the best you can. Cause I had a coworker. You was just in here. You already need to change it again? I had a coworker tell me that when he was young, that he used to think that his mom hated him because she would work all day, all night, and she was never home. This is just, me. I'm the type of person, man, when you talk to me, I listen. That's why I would be so crazy when I would meet someone, they would tell me their whole life story. I would think, oh my God, this is my best buddy. And it didn't mean shit. They just wanted to vent. They were not trying to be my best buddy. Because I do listen. Like, when people talk, I'm like, damn, and then that made me think because, I'm never home, I'm always trying to work. So the fact that he thought that, he was young, he didn't understand that if his mom does not go to work all day, all night, they will not have a home to live in, so when you could get into your inner childhood, your younger self, and remember how you used to think, it really can help you in your adulthood, because it it's still part of you. Yes, you grow up. Yes, you become an adult, but that's still kind of part of you when you were a child, and the way you thought, and the way you would think, and the way you would see people and view people. Because now I'm realizing shit, not everybody freaking, if everybody doesn't think the same, then maybe not. And these corona babies lifting up their heads at freaking 2 weeks and shit, like giving people kisses. I saw this cutest video, this baby. I swear to God, I said, this is This is unbelievable. The daddy gave the baby a kiss. This was a newborn baby. And the baby lifted the head up. And he could all hardly wobbling his head like, and he gave the daddy a kiss. I'm like, I watched that video like 100 times. I couldn't believe it, you know. But kids matter, man. You know, and we really need to figure out how to give the correct attention. Because to be honest, they're not giving a lot of attention. You know, and I believe in a higher power, but I do believe in a divine motherly spirit too, you know? Because the way a mother feels for a child, you can't fake that. I mean, you cannot fake. Like, I literally found out I was a psychopath because of my kids. You know what I mean? I become a totally different person when it comes to them. Like, I'm not normal. You know what I mean? Like, anything else, I'm kind of normal, but when it comes to them, I'm not. And like I said, my kids are a little different. Like for example, like my son, I know I get on his nerves sometimes. I know these things, but he chooses to always give me the most utmost respect. You know, there's no talking back. There's no, we're able to actually talk. My daughter, I'm pretty sure she'd be like, "Oh my God," but she will not disrespect me in my face. You know. The one thing that I have to change though is, it's like I'm not as strict. I think really because I'm just so tired. Sometimes I'm like, you know what? I'll curse her out tomorrow. I just really can't. But even my 6-year old, sometimes he can he isn't really doing it. My kids are pretty decent, man. Like, I know they ain't perfect, but I know that they're when I look at the way I was just a hot, out of control kid, like you couldn't tell me anything. You just could not tell me anything, you know? And but then again, like, and it's not an excuse, but I find that a lot of kids that grew up with religious strict parents, they end up really going nuts. I'm not gonna say all parents, all kids, because that's not true. But where it could have just been like I can't be, like like when you're growing up, like that's your time to grow and figure things out because you're gonna, like, let's say for example, there's been one church where when I went, I felt okay. I felt good. Because there was one church, man, I was going to, oh my God. Every time I went in there, I felt good. I felt like, damn, like this nigga giving me a personal message, But then, like at the end of the day, I'm a sinner. So, like, I would feel like, damn, like they know, they know, like they judging me or something. I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. So it's hard because the whole purpose of a church is to have like a spiritual family, you know? And I feel horrible that I've never been able to. I found one and it was back in Florida. So, and I thought I found one here. Like the preacher, man, like I don't know, like I really enjoyed him preaching. It was an old white man, and there was this other pastor. He would sit here and devote his life to going and praying and teaching men in prison about God. And I remember him crying on the stage, crying because some of them never even their parents didn't even tell them about God. I mean, this pastor was boo-hooing. You know what I mean? That's why, like, if men could really understand their importance in this whole story and how important they are, and how, women are more likely, and like I said, we're not pointing fingers, but we're being realistic. A woman is more likely and easier to be like, okay, I need to change. I need to get right. You know what I mean? Like, women are more like that. Men, I don't know. And it's not. Why are you telling me this shit? Oh, you're doing a good job. Like, having sons made me realize, like, my sons are gonna grow up to be men one day. You know, I remember telling my son, like, if you go and you have a baby, and you even think about abandoning the baby, me and you gonna fight. Me and you gonna square up, because do they realize it? Do they realize what's going on? Do they realize how important they are in this whole story? You can't, and then, that's why I say we can't point the fingers, because it's not always men, it's just the majority, right? Because you do have women that will also, like with my dad. Let's say, for example, when my dad and my mom broke up, my dad was not trying to, you know, I'm gonna be in my daughter's life if, you still give me kitty cat every now and then. You know what? Men are actually like that. That is, a lot of men are like that. That's scary. That's very frightening, because that means that the maturity level is very low, and that's why it goes on both ends for the women too. But I'm gonna tell you something. A woman does not go and put herself in a position with a man knowing that she can get pregnant and saying, you know what, this nigga gonna get me pregnant and he gonna leave me and I am okay with it. Ooh, woo. Women think differently. The first time we meet you, we thinking about freaking getting married and getting in a white picket fence house. That's why I say men and women are different. Men will more, I'm not saying all men, but men is thinking about something else, man. You know what I mean? They completely thinking about something else. A woman, even, let's say, for example, even if a woman cheats, she's going to cheat because she doesn't feel loved. She doesn't feel valued. She feels replaceable. She doesn't feel seen. So that's why you'll notice, you know, if they do that, that's why. A man just straight up cheat because he's had this pootie tank for so long, you know, and it's just different. So at the same time, you know, the men have to realize that once you decide to be with a woman, she's not, a lot of women, they're not sleeping with you because they're ready to be thrown away like trash. You get what I'm saying? So, you know, it's gonna have to be a time where, you know, people are gonna have to intervene, and maybe, who knows, maybe men do need more attention as far as healing, and that is a stereotype where it's like, if a man needs therapy or a man needs someone to talk to, you look like you weak. No, because really, like, We just have to look at our creation, why we're created the way we're created. I'm not created to figure out how to go build no house. I'm not created to go build no streets. I'm not created to go figure out how to build a resort hotel. I'm not created to go cut down no trees. Like I told you in my last video, I'm created to be a mother. You know what I mean? But it's just you can't in this age and this time take that chance and not work and make sure that you're okay, because you can be disregarded, you know, and you have to have that. You women are starting to realize that. And what's really sad is that you know, like I said in a lot of my videos, obviously this is my topic because who does not love having someone to actually grow old with? You know, like my coworker, thank goodness he's okay. He got into a car accident, and his wife was just, you know, she was distraught. Like she couldn't even speak. Like, but she was right there by his side. You know, in life. Well, this is probably why so many people. I do think they need to people when they're young. If you're 27 and younger, I don't know. You know, everybody's different. You know, but you're still really, really growing. But marriage needs to be just taken more seriously, you know, because you're actually still growing, you know, when you're 30, when you're 31, when you're 32. So if it's not looked at, if both people, you have to kind of figure each other out before you make such a big leap. But if your mindset isn't, this is a forever thing, you know, your mindset isn't, you know, I want someone to grow old with. Because the reason why I have to, and I said I have to take a complete break from dating, because I literally was like, I am going to be a lesbian. You know what I mean? Like, the fact that my last relationship has made me terrified of dating to the point where, you know, I'm the type of chick, I've never really been single. You know, I'm always with someone. But my last relationship, I am in need of, even though I understand, I still feel I need a lot of healing. You feel me? Because you see, that's another thing about being like having a submissive spirit, and being a submissive woman. Because a submissive woman doesn't mean, yes, son, you know, yes, husband, I'm gonna go cook, I'm gonna go clean. No, a submissive woman is like, I'll let him have this, or, you know, letting him feel like a fucking man, even though I know that I'm fucking smarter than you. You know, like, no, I'm gonna let him feel like a man. I'm not gonna do this, you know, I'm gonna stand behind him, you know. That could be, you know, with the wrong person, that could really fuck you up. You know what I mean? And you know, you always remember the beginning, and the beginning is just that feeling like, where does it go? You know, and then sometimes then a child comes into it, and it doesn't even make it better. You know, we're not taking it serious of, you know, bringing a child. Like, now again, I say this, there are a lot of children that grow up and they're successful. Hell, look at the rap game. It's a whole bunch of them. They end up making it. But I guarantee you, they still behind closed doors be going through it, because it's natural. My father passed away now. Shit. Oh my God, we're in 2022. It's been, shit, 10 years. It's been 10 years, and I still break down. I do. I do because I do. That it's a personal thing for me. Um cuz I was a woman, I was a child, and there's certain men that needs to know right from wrong, period. You can't sit here and make excuse for a man that goes and chastises and harasses and harms a woman. Like, you can't do that because it's already known that it's wrong, and they do it anyway. So that I can't. I that's another discussion. But how about the ones that are trying to follow God's way and trying to be civil and you know just trying to be a man? You know what I mean? It's like sometimes I'm like, man, I go through it, but oof, I don't want to know what it is to be a man. You know, I mean, we still must have, if we are, I don't quote me on this, okay? But if we do come from a man and a woman, because it takes a man and a woman to create one child, of course, like me, I have a savage side to me. We have the divine feminine and the divine masculine both inside of our system. So, I know I'm not perfect, but now that I have more people that, people talk to me, people tell me things, there's been some women that has told me some stories of things they did. Because me, I've always been, and there's nobody that can ever say that I haven't. Like, if, that I've ever, like snapped in a way, like, go crazy, to hurt somebody else or busting windows and stuff like that. Like, that's just not me. I'm more of a, like, I'm just gonna fall down the stairs and it's more like myself, which is still not normal, but that was a long time ago. I was very young. That's probably like the weirdest I've ever been. You know what I mean? So I had to realize, like, we are different, but I hope one day we can figure it out. Because if we don't start paying attention to this now, I don't know. Will it get worse? Between us not really taking it seriously, focusing on the children, focusing on the youth more and harder, like going harder with it. While, there's things that I don't even want to talk about that happens at schools, which I don't want to see that stuff no more. I hate to say it, you don't see women busting in those schools doing that. You feel me? So, and it's not a negative thing. I can't put that out there because I have sons. I don't know what's really going on in my son's head. I just pray that he be right. I pray that he does right. I pray he does good by women. I pray that, you know, I always tell him, like, we all got a monster in us. You got to choose to be good. You know what I mean? I always tell him that because I don't know what really goes on in their head. But I know that we need to start taking it more seriously. I know that, men need as much attention as women, because women are just prone, like, women are more prone to feel guilt and need of change and, reflection and stuff like that, you know. But men have that ability too. They need to have that ability. That's why it's so, what's very alarming, and I thought about this, how, you know, You see a man with all this anger and how they'll treat a woman and talk down to a woman, and you're like, damn, this nigga came from a whole woman. That's it just makes you think, like, how can you have a mother, and a mother knows exactly what I'm talking about, as much as you love those boys. Ooh. I mean, of course I love my baby girl. I mean, I don't even have to talk about it. Like, my daughter is literally my little princess. Okay? Even when she's wrong, she's not wrong to me. you know? But it would break my heart if my sons ended up doing. I'm not one of these moms where my son would never do that. No, I pray, that I did the best I could, because I already have one out of the house. But these are the things that I think about. These are the things I wonder about, because men should be more protective over women. It's like the more time goes by, the more less respected it looks like we are to them, and it's heartbreaking because we literally adore them. Like, for me, that's why I have to take a complete hiatus from dating. And for my own self, I need to focus on me. I need to focus on my health. I need to focus on my mental health. I need to spiritually heal. I was I really am scared, because I actually was thinking of completely giving up on dating men. And anybody that really knows me, that's serious. Like, I had to really sit down and realize, whoa, 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 whoa. Because it's relationship after relationship. You're not gonna just keep dating and keeping on, when it's the same reasons. Communication is not only just communication, empathy. Empathy is not something like this angelic, angel wings coming down, and you're empath. Being empathetic, if I'm saying it right, is really saying to yourself, okay, so this is what she's saying about how she feels. Because number one, when you're in a relationship with someone, no one, the person does not listen to you. Like, you're telling them repeatedly, this is what I want, this is what makes me happy, this is what makes me not happy, this is what I don't like, and it doesn't change. That's not the person for you. You know what I mean? You'll find that women are more prone to change for a dude. You know, like, don't wear that. You can't go out like that. Like, you don't need to go to work no more. You don't need to do this. They will just do it. Not because they being lazy, not because there's some men that literally cannot take a woman fucking working and having her own money. But they don't realize, like, you can't just tell me not to work no more and then fucking, you know? Like, I had to realize, like, me saying that to myself and even thinking about it, like, yo, uh, I really want to try this. I really want to try. No, bitch. Try to be single. You know what I mean? But that's what's happening, though. I mean, it's at an alarming rate. And it's not to blame the man, because you see, the women, we have to also do our work, because we're too easy to fall in love. It is fucking ridiculous. Like, I was the number one person that I take my own, and you get to know the person, and you guys have absolutely nothing alike. You guys have none of the same goals. I mean, y'all see my videos. Like, I am more like, I want to be, what I'm trying to do. These topics, these are the things that are on my mind. So I can't be with someone that is getting angry because they don't, it's not getting put down enough. Like, do you see what's going on the news here? You know what I mean? Like, you can't, I don't know who came up with opposites attract. Maybe opposites attract meaning male and female chromosomes. I mean, maybe that, but no. If you want, you can't want success and to level up to your bestest self and then get into a relationship with someone that has no goals. It's so crazy how much we don't even talk because we automatically feel this chemistry, and the chemistry sometimes is actually just lust, that men and women both have. So, and it's hurting people, and it's hurting relationships. It's just not good. And the fact that I thought what I thought, that is troubling. you know, um, if you're in a space where you have some type of addiction, or because that was my problem. Like I would, like I said, like everyone, I had my thing. I had my stuff I had to deal with, and I would drink, and it was pretty bad. So, you know, I would meet someone that drinks a lot too, and it would just become a complete nightmare. But and the fact that we have to realize now, I have to tell you, with my age, that's why I really want to make sure that I specify that I'm saying this in a calm, motherly, nurturing way, because those won't, that I did not think like that when I was a teenager, before I had my first child at 18. Well, no, I got pregnant at 18. I had him at 19. You know, when I had my second child at 25. And hell, even my third child at 33, I did not think like this. I was still looking for a relationship, looking for a hubby. So it's just, how do we teach these things to our young generation, man? We don't want that movie. What was that movie with that, God, I like this actress. She has the red hair, where it ends up being one woman. They trying to protect her because she's like the last woman that's having a baby, because that's what's gonna happen. Like, women, women are gonna just start being with women. you know and it's crazy because shit, they be having problems too. you know but and it goes the other way, because the thing is that even with men, they end up, now I'm not saying, now listen, this is very touchy for me because of what the Bible says. But then how could you, with things that are happening and what men do when a woman cannot take the emotional and mental and physical abuse, and they could find that comfort in another woman. I would never go against the higher power, God, none of that. But that's the part, I mean, you can see why. That's usually why usually women that go to other women were in very horrible relationships. And you'll usually find submissive, soft-spoken, gentle women, nurturing, loving women will always end up with the complete opposite. Someone that takes that all out of you. That nice, nurturing, loving part of you is completely gone. you know, and then you're traumatized and you don't like. I'm telling you, I was always in love with being in love, you know, but you know, you know, it's you know, that's another thing too. Sometimes I think about, you know, it's, you know, I have a Bible, you know, I read it every now and again because I'm not gonna lie, man, the Bible is scary to me sometimes. I mean, I'm serious, y'all. When you read it, you know, but that's the only thing. I would never defy a higher power. My grandma and mom would roll in their graves, you know, but you know, could it be, you know, like like I said, I think I said this in my other video. You know, when you have your mom and your dad, right? They whooped your ass. They were strict. They didn't play with you. By the time their great grandchildren or grandchildren are here, they change. They soften up. You know, sometimes I think about that like in the Bible, you know. You know, could the person that wrote the Bible, you know, they said it was our God, you know, like could he have softened up on us, you know, to realize like, you know, I mean, I don't know. Because a lot of men really don't treat us good. You know what I mean? But it's hard for me to bash them having sons, if that makes sense. Bashing a man is like bashing my sons, and I can't, you know. I just have to hope that we can figure it out, you know, for our new generation, and even like, you know, our generation as a whole. Like, I really feel like this is the learning generation. This is a generation that is gonna do great things, you know, reflect and everything. You know, because you can see us changing, like I said, you know, from our past to today. Like what little baby said in bigger picture, man, it ain't gonna happen overnight, but as long as we trying, man. You got Donald Trump getting Kodak Black and Lil Wayne out of jail. Like, this is the same man that everybody said is racist. I didn't even know Donald Trump is pumping money back into black communities, you know. And Donald Trump was a kind of a racist before. Let's be real. You know, he wasn't too crazy about us before, but you know, God has a way of working with us and letting us see ourselves, you know. And you know, like we have to like it, you know, why? Like why is it that a man comes from a woman and could be so hurtful to women, you know? If that makes sense. It's things that I just, you know, you just think about. You know, because some men are like that. Some men are not able to treat a woman like that because of their mom. It is men like that. You know what I mean? My son went through, I'm not going to put him on blast like that, but my son went through something with a girl. And, you know, something that a lot of men would just not even care. He was heartbroken. You know what I mean? He was distraught. You know, and I was wondering, does he feel that way because of me, because the relationship he has with me, you know? And a lot of men, they see what their mothers went through, and it just is hard to understand why they would treat women that way. You know, that's why, like there's this guy on, oh my gosh, on YouTube that I watched, you know, on Derek Jackson, and I gotta find his name because he is, God, he helps me so much. You know, there's men that do reflect and they do try to change, you know, but oh, he, he talks about narcissism, and you know how big it is for a narcissist to be able to realize they're a narcissist. It's just not, it's not common. But yeah, you could tell, because like he said, um he lost his wife, left him and took the child, and he was just home by himself. He was alone. So he uh, oh man. Well, he's really like the only dude, but there he is. Mental illness is his page. It's a guy with long dreads, and you know, it really helped me. And Derek Jackson too. Um, you know, like none of us is perfect, because like I said, man, women could be very hurtful too. We could be very hurtful. We can be very we could have our ways, but it's just we're more easily to change, if that makes sense. Anyway, um yeah, I mean, like I said, at the end of the day, this all comes back to the children. I'm just thinking about their future, like all of them, not just my kids, like just in general, because when I look at the good things in life, it's good. I really cannot think about the bad things. I just can't. I don't want to. It's scary. My anxiety is horrible. I literally sometimes when I go out, like my legs shake and shit. You know what I mean? Like, what's crazy is that I wasn't like that before. So that's how I know that I need healing. I don't need some man trying to cuff me. I don't need no one trying to have me in a relationship. I don't need none of that right now. What I really need is self-healness and focusing on career and independence and being an independent woman. Because I'm too self-reliant in a relationship. I too much like the Disney story. I too much like, you're the man, I'm the woman. Like, I love that shit too much. And that has done nothing but put me in a state of denial and delusion. You know what I mean? Because that's what I love. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with being submissive to your man. A man should feel like a man, but it's the right man needs to deserve that respect. You get me? Because you're more easy. Women will stop talking to their mama, their friends, their family over a man. They'll cut everybody off. Because it's like we weren't designed to be be best friends with Sally and Sheila. We just weren't designed that way. That's why I do say, man, having a bond with a woman is very, very special, very rare. Because I give them that. We're not really designed for that. But it's just independence is something like that should be taught, and women should not, like, there should be like some kind of insurance, like, okay, if I stop working and take care of these kids, like, I'm sorry, it's sad that it comes to this, because a lot of people, they get to the point where they don't care. Sometimes it is the woman, because like I said, we cannot point fingers, man. We're all in this together. But it's just, you will have women that are petty, and they will also try to, and then there's men that they are trying to be in the child's life, and the woman will keep them away. My mom wasn't like that, but there are a lot of women that do that. The man is able to move on, but the woman isn't. So it happens, but let's keep it 100. Let's not act like, you know, it's more men, you know. Um, I never want to say anything to bash my exes because they've literally molded me into this woman, where I have to realize that I need to experience a path of making my own money, buying my own shit, you know, learning how to work professionally with dudes. Like, it's you can't sit here and feel sexual tension with every fucking dude you meet, yo. Like, sometimes you just meant to fucking be friends, yo. And if you feel like you can't be friends with a woman and she's telling you that, then leave her alone. You know what I mean? Just go on somewhere. Because it's these are things that are necessary, because if men and women could figure out how to actually be friends, it would be great. There's always going to be, especially if someone is attractive, of course, there's always going to be something there, but you're not meant to sleep with everybody that you fucking meet. Especially if you're trying to be a boss. You got to learn how to be able to work with men and women, you know? So, these are things that, let's say, for example, this is things that we start learning. Our kids are going to, you get what I'm saying? Going back to the whole original purpose of my video. What we start doing, if our kids see it, some women don't know how to not be jealous, and men, they don't know how to co-parent because they didn't see their parents do it. They didn't see their parents do it. So this is a huge thing. We are the adults. I am the adult. I really, when I would go through my dark places of depression and stuff, I really had to really look at myself, because I would turn to drinking and it wasn't helping nobody. You know what I mean? I was a full functioning drinking, and it wasn't, only I can understand, me personally. A lot of single moms can get it, but it's really hard, But when you have your kids, they grow up and they see that. Trust me. Because I did with my mom too. My mom really, really tried her best. But, yeah, these are all things that matter, Like I said to you, this is a generational, it could be a generational thing. The story of your Uranus and Gaia, is heartbreaking. Cronus and Zeus and the children. I mean, that's just so sad, It's like, oh my God, like, I'm your kids, But, and these are old stories. What do people think when they hear that story? I hear, okay, it's time for us to now figure it out, break this curse where the mother is only responsible and the men have to start being held accountable and responsible, and it's not even necessarily like a, you're doing great. Oh, she making chicken nuggets? Because, I lost my train of thought. But, yeah, that we need to change. Like, it's not just, on just the mom. I went through a time, and that's why I say everything happens for a reason, right? Because with my firstborn son, his dad, we would go through it, but I don't know how we were able to maintain some type of a relationship. But we did. But we would go through really dark times too. But yeah, so there were times that he would take him legally by law, right? He had the right, when he would take my son, he had the right to go file for child support. That's why I say everything happens. I feel like a lot of things happen for a reason. You know, like I've been put on this journey for a reason. Because he had the...
My sister got taken from me. It's rude.
Yeah, you made him chicken nuggets? I thought she said she was gonna make you chicken nuggets.
I saw.
Yeah, you made him chicken nuggets?
I saw you make.
Yeah. Damn, I'm losing what I'm saying. Oh yeah. So, you know, I have 3 kids altogether. So I would struggle with my 2 youngest, like a lot. So, you know, his dad was involved. You know, no matter what we went through, he was involved. So, you know, he would end up taking him. I mean, of course, I would have loved if he would have just helped me a little bit more, but I'm kind of struggling because, you know, he's doing his part. You know, he's doing what he's supposed to be doing. And he would have to take him sometimes. And he could have went and filed child support on me. That's why I say, you know, when people are just so quick that man need to pay child support and stuff, like it's true. They do. They fucking do. But there needs to be some kind of system built for men that has that responsibility. Like, yeah, and you can't baby them. Like, nigga, you need to pay child support. But let the men that have to pay child support, let them make a certain amount of money at that job. You know what I mean? This is, you know, I think everybody should make a little bit more money. But the ones, you don't have no ketchup? How about his ketchup?
There's no more ketchup.
Yes, there is. There's no way. There was just a ketchup bottle.
Well, where is it then? Because I don't see it. There's no more.
I don't want to see it.
Oh my God. And I'm in the middle of a video.
Okay, maybe.
Let me hurry up. Yeah, so like if there was a system in place where the man makes enough money, instead of him, you know, having the same job opportunities and make the same amount of money as a man that doesn't have that. So he gets paid a little bit more, but he still makes enough to take care of his family or his own wife and his children outside the home. Like, why aren't these things like this in place? You know, because it's just not right. If a man is gonna neglect their child, at least help financially. You know, it's not cool. It's not right. You know, but then realistically, y'all didn't see the ketchup?
I didn't see it.
Yeah, but I'll be back for part 2.